Hey y'all, welcome to the first episode of Let's Melt. So today I'm finna show y'all how to get from a wig that is way too small for your client's head, because my clients be having huge heads to come in here with the smallest wigs. So now let's get to the install. The first step to every install is to make sure your foundation is flat. If they ain't got no hair, stick it straight to the bike. If they do, make sure it's braided down, make sure the braids are flat. Then after that, you apply the ball cap. For my ball cap, I prefer to use glue over spray because I feel like it holds longer and it holds better. And when y'all do this, do not put glue on their edges. It's supposed to be in front of their edges. Now, when it's time for y'all to actually fit the wig, what y'all want to do is cut the frontal part from the track part. And y'all can literally see how I'm cutting it. I'm cutting the very back part of the lace, but do not cut it all the way across unless their head is just huge or like, it's just not fitting at all. I always go in and I cut like an inch first to 2 inches, but now I done got to the point where I can kind of eyeball how much need to be cut from each wig. But I literally go in, only cut that part. Do not cut in the middle of the lace. Do not cut in the middle of the tracks. Cut it just like that, because you can always go back in later and add either more tracks in there. But if you don't have more tracks, just spray some black spray and sew everything down, which I'm going to show y'all how to do later on in the video. So after your glue has turned clear, you want to go in and you want to cut all the excess off of the ball cap. And when it comes down to putting on wigs that is too small, you have to constantly fit and try and place it before you actually glue it down. That's one mistake I see a lot of people making. They put the glue on their head and then go ahead and glue the wig down, but no, you need to measure out all of this before you actually glue it down. So I go through and I put makeup on the cap and I put makeup on the wig. Now, you don't always have to put makeup on the cap, especially when you have thicker laces like transparent and Swiss lace, but for HD lace you always have to put makeup on the cap because you're going to be able to see that straight through the lace. And wiping your client's forehead off with alcohol is very essential to getting a strong hold, because you need the hair to be free of any oils, lotions, makeup, moisturizers, all of that. So I go in with my lace tape, and for the lace tape, I literally just line it across the edges because you want to prevent as less glue as possible of getting on your edges. The lace tape gives it a stronger hold and it prevents your edges from getting all of the glue on there if it is applied correctly. So after I apply the lace tape, I go in with the lace glue. The lace glue that I'm using today is from Hair Religion, and I do it in the shape of their hairline. They're getting a widow's peak. I add a little bit more glue in the middle to make sure I have enough room for that widow's peak. Now, she is a widow's peak girl down. I think every install I do on her is a widow's peak, and it's rare that she even get a side part, if y'all want to be honest. So I add 3 to 5 small layers. It's different depending on each client, because some clients wear their wigs for a day or two for a certain event and take it right off. Some clients wear their wig for as long as possible. And it's just really up to you and your clients. So when it comes down to actually laying the lace, you have to make sure you lay it in the same exact place that you already measured it for. I always start with the middle and then I move from one side to the other. And keep that in mind, because you do not want to start on one side and get to the other side and you realize you pulled it down too far or it's just not fitting. Because with this wig, it was too small for her, and the frontal was too short, meaning her sideburns was exposed a little on each side. So I had to make sure it was even on both sides so I can get the full coverage that I need in order to swoop the baby hair and make sure it's fully covered by however we do it. So now we're going to start with the widow's peak. I am going to give y'all a full and detailed video on how to do a widow's peak, and I can do one on the Lagos hairline. Either one y'all want, just let me know, and if I said that wrong, I apologize. So you're able to pre-customize your widow's peak before you put it on your client's head, but I always like to do more when it's actually on her head. So with this one, I didn't customize it at all because I didn't know how this wig was going to go. So how I start my customization is I always start with the middle part it directly in the middle of a client's head, wherever your wig is going to go. And then that's when you start parting out the hairline based on your client's hairline. Everybody doesn't want an exaggerated widow's peak, and everybody doesn't have an exaggerated widow's peak. So you cut out what looks best on your clients or whatever your clients prefer. She doesn't care as long as she get a widow's peak, but I kind of know her, so I already, know how to kind of work it. And you can see the difference what I plucked out versus what I didn't pluck out over there. And you're not always going to have enough space to make a deep widow's peak on certain clients. But because of how the hairline was on this wig, I had to make sure her whole hairline got covered with the wig, so I was able to pull it up a little bit further. Another thing when it comes down to customizing the hairline on the client's head, I don't only worry about the middle part or the you know, the part that everybody can see, I also worry about the size because I feel like everything should be customized. After I cut out and pluck however much hair I'm finna pluck out, I cut the lace and I do one side from the other, and I make sure the sides both look somewhat even, if not all the way even. Y'all see that big gap back there? I'm gonna show you how to fix it. So one great tip: do not cut your clients if you don't feel like you're confident in doing this, but shaving the lace versus cutting the lace makes a big difference with your install, especially with the thicker laces, because it gives it that jagged edge and it kind of thins it out basically. So after you go through and you cut the lace, you want to glue down everything that previously did not get glued down, and you want to make sure you put the same amount of layers that you put on the initial glue in that part that's still sticking up, if that makes sense. So if I did 3 layers before I actually laid down the lace, I'm going to do 3 layers on the part that didn't get laid down the first time. So now here goes some of y'all favorite part, is the baby hair. She loves her some baby hair, and I know it's very rare. I don't think I ever did a no baby hair install on her. When it comes down to a widow's peak, you have to make sure those baby hairs are even, or you're going to be able to tell. In my opinion, you can honestly tell without a widow's peak, but I feel like it's more noticeable with the widow's peak. So what I do is I go and part my baby hair out on one side, and then I use my comb to measure the baby hair that I need to part out on the other side. And you kind of see me in the video doing it whenever I put the comb on their face and literally measure to the other side. And y'all, pluck that, y'all. That's what I was trying to show y'all. Sorry, I didn't know when it was gonna come up in the video. But never, if your wig looks big, if it looks like it needs more plucking, y'all, pluck. I don't care how much plucking you have to do. You want it to look as natural as possible. And I feel like a lot of times when we part out the baby hair, it still be kind of thick sometimes, so I always go back through and I pluck a little bit more. So now this is a part of how we kind of tie the whole look together. So what I do is I go to the part that the tracks are on and I kind of pull it up. I rather pull that part up versus pulling the frontal part back, causing it to lift even faster, because it's pulling backwards instead of being able to sit and stay in place. So I just go through with my needle and my thread and I sew it down to the braids that I had braided down or whatever. And then sometimes you can go through and you can sew down the front part. I don't really always recommend that, because again, you don't want to put too much tension on it to where it's pulling it back away from the glue, because it's going to cause it to lift way quicker. That's why a lot of times people have wigs that are too small, they tend to lift way faster than wigs that don't. After you do that, if you have any tracks of that same texture, whether your client bottom or you bottom, all you got to do is add it in. Now, I didn't have any tracks that was deep wave, and she didn't have any extra that she bought. So what I did was spray it with a little bit of black spray, which you're going to see me do a little bit later in the video. And then I hot combed the hair to where it's covering that part, and I sprayed it down with spritz a little bit harder. She knew that the gap was right there. I knew that the gap was right there, but I made it to where ain't nobody gonna see the gap. And that's what you really have to do, is tell your clients to be conscious about how they wear their hair, or you know, what accessories they may wear, and just make sure that gap covered, because there's nothing else you can do other than add hair there or just spray it with black spray. But you can see right here, I haven't even sprayed it with black spray yet, and you can't even tell that the gap is right there with how I molded down the hair. Your mold is very important when it comes down to doing the wig install that's too small. But as you can see right there, I just sprayed a little bit of the black spray back there, and then I started working on the baby hair. So for the baby hair, I use either spritz or got to be, or I use even the gel. And it's really, you know, my clients' preferences. If they want them hard, then I use one of the gels. But my soft baby hair, I do them with hairspray. And I can get y'all a detailed video on that too, because a lot of people be asking me how I do that. And it's really, really easy, but it do take some practice and time, because you do kind of have to move fast and make sure that you do them correctly the first time, because once they're laid, they're laid.
wanna call, try and get a little maybe. In the meantime, it's not going well. Get some me time. What you doing, what you want? Only been a few hours, but it feel like days. Only been days, but it feel like months. Only gone for a year, only go like once. Life move fast and you do what you want. In the meantime, it's not doing what I want. Get some me time. You doing what you want. In the meantime, it's not doing what I want. Get some me time. You doing what you want. Maybe I don't love myself. I don't know. Leave me here, I'll fuck myself. See me in the mirror, I duck myself. Don't need much, so fuck my wealth. That's what it feel like days. Only been days, but it feel like months. Only gone for a year, only go like once. Life move fast and you do what you want. At this time, doing what I want. Hope you doing what you want. What we want. My new bitch look like Halle Berry, but she don't love me, she too scary. My old bitch front like Jackie Brown. I wanna know but she too down. Will you be my leading lady? I want a contract, girl, no maybe. In the meantime, it's not going where I want. Get some me time. Hope you doing what you want. Crib by the beach like Odell. Over more, my killers don't tell. Chateau Mama, cause I knew you off the shelf. Now my bitches did the Chanel. Will you be my leading lady? I wanna call, try and get a little maybe. In the meantime, it's not going well. Get some me time.